Hello, students! Welcome back to another exciting lesson in English. Today, we're going to dive into a new topic, the voices of verbs. After going through this lesson, you are expected to identify and differentiate between active and passive voice, and convert sentences from active to passive voice. But first, let's have a quick review of our topic last time. What is a verb? Great! Verbs are words that express actions. Can you give some examples of verbs? Good! Some examples are cook, bark, listen, swim, and speak. Now, let us read a short story and answer questions about it. The Lost Puppy. Once upon a time, a little puppy got lost in a big park. The puppy walked around, looking for his owner. A kind boy saw the puppy and decided to help. He took the puppy in his arms and carried him to the park's entrance. There, the boy found the puppy's owner, who was searching everywhere for the lost puppy. The owner thanked the boy and gave him a big hug. The puppy was happy to be back with his owner. Here are the questions. Who found the lost puppy? Very good. A kind boy found the lost puppy. What did the boy do after finding the puppy? Yes, the boy took the puppy in his arms and carried him to the park's entrance. How did the owner react when the boy returned the puppy? Yes, the owner thanked the boy and gave him a big hug. Now, let's use this story to learn the voices of verbs. In every sentence, there is someone doing an action and someone receiving that action. The person or thing doing the action is called the subject. The person or thing receiving the action is called the object. The way we arrange these in a sentence helps us understand who is doing what, and this is where the voice of the verb comes in. But what do we mean by voice? Voice describes the relationship between a verb and the subject and the object associated with it. It tells us whether the subject of the sentence is doing the action or receiving the action. There are two voices, active voice and passive voice. Let's explore these using examples from the story. Let us read this sentence. The boy found the puppy. This sentence is in the active voice. Why? Because the subject, which is the boy, is doing the action of finding. The object, which is the puppy, is receiving the action. The active voice emphasizes the subject or the thing performing the action. In this voice, the subject of a sentence is followed by the verb and then the object of the verb. The pattern is subject plus verb plus object. Let us take a look at these examples. The dog chased the cat. The artist painted the mural. The chef cooked a delicious meal. The teacher praised the student. The gardener planted the flowers. Dog, artist, chef, teacher, and gardener are the subjects. They are the doer of the action. Chased, painted, cooked, praised, and planted are the verbs. Cat, mural, delicious meal, student, and flowers are the objects. They are the receiver of the action. Let's move on to the next voice. Let's read the sentence. The puppy was found by the boy. This sentence is in the passive voice. Notice how the puppy, which was the object in the active sentence, is now the subject in this passive sentence. The passive voice emphasizes the action or the recipient of the action. In this voice, the object of the verb is followed by the verb and then the subject. The pattern is object plus verb plus subject. Here are some examples. The cake was baked by the chef. The books were arranged by the students. The letter was sent by the company yesterday. The plants were watered by the gardener. The homework was completed by the students. Remember, use the active voice as much as possible to create direct, clear, and concise sentences, especially when you are writing about the actions of people. Use the passive voice when it is more important to focus on the recipient of an action than on who performed the action. Before we move on to the steps in changing sentences from active voice to passive voice, let's have an activity. Identify whether each sentence is in the active voice or passive voice. First, the cake was baked by my grandmother. What is the voice of the sentence? Great! It's passive voice. How about this one? The teacher praised the students for their hard work. It's active voice. Good job. Next, the homework was completed by all the students. Very good. It's passive voice. How about this one? The dog chased the cat around the house. Yes, it's active voice. And the last one? The new library books were donated by a local business. The voice is passive voice. Yay, you did an awesome job. Now, let's discuss the steps in changing sentences from active voice to passive voice. The first step is identify the subject, verb, and object. In our example, the cat chased the mouse. Cat is the subject, chased is the verb, and mouse is the object. Step 2. Swap the subject and object. So our new subject is the mouse. Step 3. Use the correct form of the to be. Since the verb chased is in the past tense and the mouse is singular, we use was. Next, use the past participle of the main verb. The main verb is chased. It stays the same because chased is the past participle of chase. Next, add by and the original subject. You can add by and the original subject at the end of the sentence, but it's optional. So, the final passive sentence from the cat chased the mouse is the mouse was chased by the cat. Let's try. Change this active sentence to passive sentence. The kids ate the cake. Our subject is the kids. Our verb is ate and our object is cake. Let's swap the subject and object. So our new subject now is the cake. Since our main verb is in the past tense and cake is singular, we use was. So it becomes the cake was. The past participle of our main verb, which is ate, is eaten. So it becomes the cake was eaten. Then we add by and the original subject, which is the kids. So our answer now is the cake was eaten by the kids. We did it! Now, let's have a recap of what we have learned today. Voice refers to how the subject and object are arranged in a sentence. Active voice. The subject, thus the action. The pattern used is subject plus verb plus object. Passive voice. The subject receives the action. The pattern is object plus verb plus subject. The active voice focuses on the doer, while the passive voice focuses on the receiver. Great! Now it's your turn to practice. Identify whether each sentence is in the active voice or passive voice. You may pause this video to answer this activity. Okay, let us check your answers. For number 1, the cake was baked by my mom. What is the voice of this sentence? Very good, it's passive voice. How about the second one? The students completed their homework. It's in? Yeah, active voice. Number 3, the book was read by Anna. It is in the passive voice. And the fourth one, the teacher explains the lesson. It's active voice. And the fifth one, the letter was written by Tom. What is the voice of this sentence? Great, it's passive voice. Great job. Now, let's try to change these sentences from active voice to passive voice. Again, you may pause the video to answer this activity. Alright, let's check your answers. For number 1, the teacher explained the lesson. The answer is, the lesson was explained by the teacher. Number 2, the chef prepared a delicious meal. The answer is, a delicious meal was prepared by the chef. Next, the students completed the assignment. The passive voice of this is, the assignment was completed by the students. Next, the gardener planted the flowers. It's, the flowers were planted by the gardener. How about the fifth one? The artist painted a beautiful mural. The passive is, a beautiful mural was painted by the artist. Great job! Now, for our last activity, you are going to change these sentences from passive voice to active voice. Pause the video to answer this activity. Alright, let's answer. Number 1, the book was read by Maria. The active voice of this sentence is, Maria read the book. Number 2, the cake was baked by my mother. The active voice is, my mother baked the cake. Next, the project was completed by the team. The active voice is, the team completed the project. Fourth, the letter was written by John. The answer is, John wrote the letter. Last, the movie was watched by the children. The answer is, the children watched the movie. I am sure you did an awesome job. I am sure you did an awesome job. Great work today. Remember, practicing these sentences will help you understand the difference between active and passive voice. Keep practicing and you'll master this in no time. See you in the next lesson. Thank you so much.